I don't know. Maybe when kids' names start sounding like alcoholic beverages or like Xanax, then maybe nah. Old story about my ex and I discussing baby names and how my suggestion ruined the relationship. I have always loved the two-word first names, such as Anna Grace, Sadie Mae, Susie Lee, etc. When my ex and I were trying for a kid, she got really upset with me because I suggested a name LSD. I wanted something original, but nice sounding. Yes, LSD, it sounds as rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Something that rolled off the tongue. She got heated and wouldn't talk to me, accused me of not even taking name suggestions seriously, and eventually that devolved into a fight and she chose to leave me then and there. She never explained why it made her mad, because she thought I was joking around when I said I didn't understand why she didn't like it. Took me about 4 months later to realize I wanted to name our potential daughter LSD. You see, this is why communication is very important. I swear to God, I didn't see it at first, but as soon as I read it out loud, I was like, oh yeah, that's LSD. LSD? Like, this is like Mo Lester. You know, it's like, yeah, good name, thanks. The entire school reacted to this poor child's name. Yesterday was my daughter's kindergarten promotion ceremony. The entire school was present, as well as the parents of the kindergarten students. They called the students one by one to come up, and one of the last children was named Boba Fett. Last name. Wait, like Boba Fett is the last, or what's the, okay, Boba Fett is the first name, or like first, middle, or double name, or and then it's a last name. Okay, why? I don't know if that's how it's spelled, but it is his complete first name. I kid you not, when a pretty decent chunk of the older children, 1st to 8th grades, said very incredulously, Boba Fett? The teachers were immediately trying to shush them, but the damage was done. Now, I am not sure if in any other culture this name has a different meaning. That being said, the family are not POC, nor do they dress in a manner that would suggest being anything other than your standard Caucasian American nerd or geek, not to be pejorative. I felt really bad for this kid, because I'm sure it's not the first time that had something like this happen to him. And honestly, as a teacher, I haven't seen or heard kids get made fun of for having unusual names in quite some time, ever since we started focusing on socio-emotional learning like 12 years ago. Oh, that's really good though. That's really good. But this is really not making the kid any favors, is it? But this particular name is too recognizable. Planner that I am, I'm wondering what will happen when people see that name on a college job application. Will they get rejected because they think it's a phony? Maybe by then he'll just go by Bo. You see, this is what is so sad, because the children don't deserve to be made fun of. Like, being a kid or a teenager or whatever can be difficult enough as it is. Like, learning who you are, trying to fit in, trying to find the group of people that you want to be in, or just don't want to be laughed at in a hall of people. That's like some PTSD kind of stuff. Like, Jesus frickin' Christ, man, that's those nightmares when you come to school with that pants kind of vibe. But this is not doing your kids any favor. If you want to name something Boba Fett or name it like Darth Vader or something, get a cat. Get a cat or a hamster. They don't give a crap. They don't get bullied for their names. Name a cat. Why your kid? Please. Please. Love is Blind stars Zack and Bliss have welcomed a baby girl named Galileo. She is our moon, our stars, the center of our universe. She's the center of our universe, so let's name her after the person that discovered that we're not the center of the universe. Galileo is a pretty rizzy name, not gonna lie, but yeah, it's a little bit ironic, isn't it? Ah, that's funny. One thing that has become more apparent nowadays on the internet is AI. And one thing that we have apparently used AI for, because apparently that was necessary, is to make yearbooks. So let's dig into this beautiful yearbooks of people in high school and their attributed names. Oh, yes, indeed. So we start off strong with Aiden, and Aiden looking good, Aiden and Aiden. Then we have Braden and Bootus and Bortz, and then a second Bortz. Damn, Bortz was a popular name 15 years ago. Then we have Bohemian, however you pronounce.
What makes you boogie? Oh, what makes you move? Oh, what makes you shake it up while you're getting down to groove? Yeah, baby. Might be the rhythm, or it might be the bass. That's right now. Might be those funky sounds or a groove from outer space. It's that thump that makes you pump. It's that beat that can't be beat. It's that thump that makes you go bump. Shake your seat and move your feet. It's that thump that makes you pump. It's
pronounce that. Chungus. I just think like Chungus. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a bunch of kids that start school in a few years. They're all have like meme names. They're like Riz, Ohio, and Huge Chungus. Then we have Ashlegian. That is like a legit tragedy. George and Jort. And Hunby. Then we have Claire. That's not even a letter right there. And Champ. Then we have Herners. It's like a mix between Hunter and Hernia, I guess. Very wholesome. Then we have Hammond and Hobbem and Fooley. And then we have the last row, which Furrus, I guess, is furry. Broop, Hogby, Shimp, Fooby, and the last one, Foob. Oh boy, we're having a little baby girl. What should I name her? This beautiful traditional name, Foob. You know, it's like boob, but you change the letter. That's great. This does bring me hope, though, because it means that even after the AI revolution takes over and kills us all, tragedies will still be a thing. You see, even AI is carrying on the tradition of shitty children's names. Isn't that just absolutely wholesome? Some traditions were just made to last, isn't that right? Foob and Borts and Borts. I was warned, but not prepared for this tragedy. My wife handles most of the parents' volunteering, but left today for an emergency business trip. As a result, I took over for her as the check-in person at a school event. She let me know that there would be some unusual names, which may make things difficult. Boy, was I wrong when I thought I was prepared. Some of the tragedies really threw me for a loop. At the risk of someone associating what I'm about to say, I just have to call this one out. One kid came up and gave me his name. Not a typical name, but seemed easy enough to find. As I started searching the list for the expected first letter, he meekly interjected his name started with another letter. Found his name, checked him off, and felt a massive wave of secondhand embarrassment. The poor kid's name was Fignitskix? How do you pronounce this? Holy cow, this post blew up. I feel terrible for the kid and I hope he adopts a nickname. What? How do you pronounce this? I don't even know. Alicia. I work in a medical admin role that occasionally involves patients calling me. Yesterday, a patient called, told me her name was Alicia, surname, so I tried looking her up. I can't find her. I asked for her email and she says it's Alicia, surname @gmail.com. Standard first name, standard last name @gmail. She doesn't spell it out. I still cannot find her. I spend a few minutes trying to establish she is calling the correct service. She gets annoyed that I can't find her, kinda rude about it. Eventually, I think to ask her date of birth. Not standard practice as we don't have many patients in our books, so finding them easily by full name. I find her. Is her name Alicia? No, and I crap you not, it's Alicia. I have many questions, but my first is why doesn't she think it's required to spell out her name when people are trying to find her on a database? Just an edit, as some people are concerned about HIPAA and poo, although I am not American. I don't work in healthcare. I work in a Botox and cosmetic procedure salon. I was simplifying using the word medical, as it might have been confusing to say it was a salon. I apologize for any concern you may have had. Maybe at this point it was this misplaced annoyance, you know, they're sick about no one ever being able to tell how their name is spelled, and they're pissed off at their parents for giving them this lot in life, but they took it out on the wrong person, sadly. I would imagine if your parents gave you that sort of spelling, you would have to spell it out when calling customer service and stuff. Man, I feel bad for this person. I feel bad for this person. If they're an adult, I would change my name at that point. I would legit just change my name to Alicia. That is so much easier. Dear God, man. And it's also really long. Like, apart from the spelling, imagine the amount of times you will barely be able to fit your name, especially with surnames and stuff, on like a piece of signed paper or something. Why? A cocomelon cake for customer son. Just to clarify, Sexy is the child's name. It wasn't my decision to write that word on a children's cake, so rather people did not jump on back over it. The customer asked for her son's name, and this is it. Sexy! Whoa! I think I had this in like a facepalm video, but it was too perfect to not have in here as well. Oh my god, out of all the things to name your kid, and like honor stuff and that sort of thing, like, we really love each other because your mom and dad thinks the other one is sexy. That's how it works. So it is our to name our kid Sexy because obviously when we combine both of us, it's gonna be so sexy. So we're gonna name this person who's gonna be, a baby and then a minor, there for the first many years of their life. Gonna go around with the name Sexy. Isn't that great? Wow, that is, wow, amazing. Imagine how tough life is gonna be in school for this poor kid. Holy shite, man.
Have we tried naming kids after other cheeses, or did we just stop at Brie?
No, don't give people ideas. No, they don't need more ideas.
Hello there, Parmesan. Oh, that was like the painful kind of laughter where you feel they're gonna snap something in your back. My mom swears her belly name for me is a beautiful name. I hate it. I have a boring first name and a basic white girl middle name that was born in the 1990s. However, my mom told me that she wanted to name me Hortense Petunia. Yeah, that pronunciation, Hortense? Okay, no, that's not great. When she was pregnant with me, she swears that it's a beautiful name. Hell no, nope. I hate that name, and I'm so thankful my grandmother convinced her to change it. I wouldn't want to go by little all my life. What do you think? Absolutely horrid or an okay name? Edit, my mom's pronunciation of Hortense is Hortense. That's where she gets little hair from. She makes jokes all the time about how I should have been her little hair. Your mom is going around being like, oh my god, it's such a shame I didn't name you my little hair. Wow, your childhood would have been great. Oh, yeah, that would have been so fun for everyone involved. Especially me. Yeah, your grandma is a keeper. Your grandma is a keeper. That's my takeaway from this situation. God, don't you have 2 kids? Yup, lol. Melody and Jamasian. Jamasian? Pronounced Jameson? J for short. Well, that spelling was certainly a decision.
Why do you just make up phonetics? I swear
Am I just being gaslit by how English can work? Or does these phonetics not work? I'm starting to doubt my sanity at this point.
Our first baby girl is Pampas. Pampas means plain, and she was plain looking when she was born.
We named her Vanilla because she boring.
Ooh, Portabella, Porty for short. My oldest daughter named her because she loved portabella mushrooms when she was born. Great name. Harold, old for short. Her great-great-grandpa was Harold, and we thought it was a unique name for a girl.
Great, you're gonna call your little girl old. That's good. The chopper is still looking for my memes. You'll never find me. I have hid them well. Well, not really. They're gonna be on YouTube, but anyway.
Incisor, Sissy for short because she was born with a tooth.
There is no way this isn't a joke. It's a joke. The whole account is a satire account. Oh, thank God. Oh my God. A small piece of hope in humanity has been restored in my heart. Absolutely beautiful.
This is our firstborn. We named her Boring Piece of because she was a really boring baby. This is our secondborn. We named them NPC because we don't feel they have any agency, and they're also a little insufferable little poo-poo, and no one notices them. Ah, yes, indeed. Good family vibes.
My girlfriend wants to name our future child frickin' Svenjamin. She is completely obsessed. I thought it was a joke, but when I started making fun of it, she cried. Svenjamin. That's it. Maybe it's a heritage thing somewhere. I just think of like the Swedish Sven, and then like a double name on top of it. Sven. Award presented to Ow Nasty. Did you name your child Ooh Nasty? Why did you name your child Ooh Nasty? Clinton Boo and It's supposed to be Skylar. Skylar. Joseph, great, thanks, God. Jules and Jamie Oliver with their 5 children in 2016. Daisy, Boo, Pamela, Pentel, Blossom, Rainbow, Buddy Bear, Maurice, Poppy, Honey, Rosie. This sounds like Teletubbies. Newborn, River, Rocket, Blue, Dallas. Yeah, it sounds like Teletubbies. It sounds like a group of Teletubbies. I was almost named Baby Girl. And it's... Imagine if you named like, oh, we have a son. Name him Boy. What's up, boy? It's like naming your puppy Dog. Come, dog. I am not kidding. I was born 2 weeks late, and my parents still didn't decide on a name for me. So my hospital wristband said Baby Girl, my last name. And in her postpartum state, my mom started to like it. My dad's mom vetoed the frick out of it. Thank God. But can you imagine? Not sure if this qualifies as a tragedy, but it is something. If this video, so far, has given me some sort of hope, it's that there are really good grandparents out there that... that will put their foot down when the parents are making stupid choices. That is good. Gives me a little bit of hope. I named my daughter Deborah. I usually say it's the formal spelling or the biblical spelling. As an adult, she has all kinds of struggles with it, Deborah being the most common. She went to a Starbucks and said her usual Deborah with an age spiel, and her cup said simply, "Hey, Deborah." I mean, that's basically on par with like the Starbucks cup memes, isn't it? We have a tall out here for Deborah. Parents had a bit of a hiccup when naming that one, didn't they? Whoops.
Okay, we have our final list of names that we're excited about.
That is awesome. Hit me with it.
Favorite baby names: Riven, Rosewell, Lozenge, Beacon, Rafter, Sift, Noble, Alabaster, Sison. Isn't that a beer? I'm pretty sure that's a Belgian beer. Remedy. We want something strong and unique, but not too cringy, you know.
I mean, name after a beer, that's fine. Name them like Guinness or something. That's cool. Hell yeah.
Aeus? Heart emojis?
Oh, it's the actual name. They have balloons for it and everything. Holy sh**. Why did you name your child Aos? Pronounced vowels.
That is the dumbest, not like other baby names I have seen today. I think, oh my god. Put all the vowels in a row, but it's pronounced vowels.
It's like a weird pun. It's like almost a weird pun.
I was pronouncing it like Aos. Yeah, me too. That's...
Looking forward to when their sibling is born. And it's just consonants. Isn't that going to be great? What a good family. Yay.
Follower of Christ, mother of 10. Anissa, Andre, Aniston, Angeli, Anderson, Angel.
That is so many Y's. Anissir, Anchor, Anthem, and Armor. It is okay to pick names that don't start with A and don't have so many Y's. It's okay. It is fine. They're not like all that out there compared to other things in this video, but like quirky aesthetics and stuff, man. Wow. Piece of sheet. No. No, why? No. Oh my god. I mean, it is perfectly possible that it just comes from somewhere else in the world, right? And just in English, it just becomes unfortunate. You know, there's plenty of those sort of examples. But if the family is from an English-speaking country, and they have, for example, a traditional last name, and they know most of the stuff in life is going to be in English and stuff, then maybe it's good to not pick something that sounds like piece of shit. Oh, God.
I have never heard a cute baby name that starts with a P. Fentanyl. Dear Santa. Hi, Santa. My name is Nalj. Knowledge.
How do you get that to knowledge? Oh,
I am 3 years old.
I don't think you wrote this, and I don't think you decided your own name. Huh. My cousin's name was Lady Nasty. Until a nurse called her Lady Nasty. And now it's Ebony because my aunt was pissed. Took me several goes before I realized the first one was meant to be La Dynasty. God bless that nurse. Oh my god. Okay, this is that kind of instance, right? When an apostrophe would probably have made the difference. You know? That would probably have potentially saved it. Okay, the change is good, but like... Lady Nasty. Yeah, God bless that nurse.
Someone on Facebook asked what they should name a horse with a parent named Red Wine. I said Cabernet, and I keep cracking up when I think about it. I am my target audience.
Oh yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm just recording videos for myself, and then others happen to watch it. This is memes that I think are fun. Yeah. Jamie has longest personal in the world. Oh my god. How are you supposed to pronounce that? How are you supposed to read this? As Roshanditellinesia Unevesenk Koyaniquatsiuth isn't the catchiest of names for day-to-day use. Her friends and family just call her Jamie.
You know how you're in trouble when your mom calls you with your full name? Well, at least you got time to grab her things and leave the country before mom has finished shouting at her. Oh, that's amazing. My husband got his first tattoo, and it's of our daughter, Ashley Kimberly. I am so proud.
That is... Oh, God. The spelling is out there, and the two looks like ass. Great job. Oh, my God. Wait, did you try to make her face look like the American flag? Is that what's going on? Is that why it's striped and has little, like, stars on the neck? Did you turn your daughter's face into a crappy American flag?
Welcome, Krypton Rosé Dream. rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? When you forgot to pick a name for your newborn son, and the nurse asks what to put on his birth certificate, when you stare at her shirt pocket trying to come up with something.
Penn Badgley. Oh god, no, that's such a burn. There's like some rare insults kind of stuff. I missed that subreddit when it was in the golden days, man. It was so good.
Born in 2014, Brinley Coyle? 2016, Bexley Blake. 2017, Becklin Brees. 2019, Zelly Ray. 2019, Nixon Zachary.
Why are there so many X's and Y's and double N's? Oh. You or your partner are preggo. You must spin a wheel to determine your baby's name. Which wheel are you choosing? Okay, so we have the left one, which is Partin, Emily, Brinley, Everly, and Jackson. Okay, it's like medium-level tragedies, you know. Oh, wait, the first one is Peyton. Okay, so it's like medium-level tragedies, right? Names that sound normal when pronounced, but they're just spelled very quirkily. And then we have the second wheel, which is ABCDE, Olivia, Anally, Katie, Christopher, Benjamin, Freak. Oh, it's that one. I still don't know how to pronounce that one. Matthew, Jimbledon, and John. Okay, I see. So like the first wheel is like, you know, half glass full kind of thing. And the second wheel is either a full glass or a completely empty glass in terms of spelling and stuff. That is nice. We're getting into some statistics here. It's like gambling. Do you want something that is like a safe bet, or do you want something with higher variability but also bigger successes, so to say? Goody.
Oh, look at our cute little baby Anally. Wow, almost as good as sexy.
Welcome to the world, Apollo Magnus Obi and Cosima Emily Bex Locklock. Sounds like characters in a fantasy novel, doesn't it?
Am I the butthole for naming my daughter Berkeley? I told everyone in my family that I was going to name my daughter Luna after my beloved childhood black cat. And they all thought Luna sounds beautiful and sweet. My mom was in love with the idea and had already planned to call her Little Moon. That is so cute, like she did with our cat. I was also in love with it until I realized how common Luna actually is amongst young children.
Can't have that. Gotta be a bit more quirky. This is gonna go down the drawer, isn't it?
I decided to change things up a little bit and go for a more uncommon, unique name for my little girl. I went online and did some research, and I soon found the name Berkeley, which is the boy's name. I really like that name, so I changed the Lay at the end to Lee to feminize it, and added a Y instead of an E in Burke to give it a unique look. I wanted to keep the new name a surprise, so I hid it from my family. A few weeks ago, I gave birth to Björkli, and I announced her name to my parents and siblings. Instead of receiving good reactions, they all seemed confused. My sister asked why I would change Luna to, I quote, that hideous name, and I told them why. They still think it's stupid and refuse to call her Björkli, so I just refer to her as Little Moon. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I feel bad for some reason. Am I the butthole?
Luna sounds really nice. It's a cute name. Björkli? I don't know, fam. If the kid is gonna struggle to spell their own name until they're 12, maybe nah. Arrogance. No. Did their parents name them Arrogance? No, why? No. My dad's newest girlfriend introduced herself as Cinnamon with an S, and I have been calling her Cinnamons all afternoon, and she absolutely will not correct me. It's like the Starbucks mugs all over again. God.
Aw, look at our baby sausage. I don't know why people don't love her name. It's unique, and you'll probably not meet another baby named Sausage. Yeah, you probably won't, and it's probably for good reason. She will always stand out. Hashtag unique baby names, Little Sausage. Woo! And then comes the sibling, Little Pancake. And then the third sibling, Bratwurst. Ah, gorgeous.
Jin? Per? Oh my god, it's supposed to be Jennifer, I think. Oh my god, astrology-coded skincare entrepreneur. That's the most bullshit title I've ever read in my life, but man, that spelling. Oh my god, I wonder at this point, with that kind of job title, if they pick this name themselves to like stand out with the job title, or if this is something their parents gave them. In that case, my condolences.
Samantha, Sharon, Clamborghini, Jessie, and Nadine.
Clamborghini. What on earth? Where did the inspiration for this name come from?
You see, we conceived you in the back of a Lamborghini, and it smelled like clams.
So we named you Clamborghini because that's really cute and nice. Oh my god.
So cute, our baby. How do you pronounce this? Dibril. I don't even know, man. What the hell? Rockley Way. Lockley. Windridge. Then we have Crestley, Brianley Way, Overley, Crestley Way, and Greenley Lane. This is amazing. This is where all the tragedies end up living in the future. This is so beautiful. Oh my god, this could be like a reality show or something. My god, what a good place. Hi, I am Septemberlin. Oh, I feel so bad for these kids, man. Oh my god. A dad of 3 beautiful girls. Coach, pundit, and all-round nice guy. Coach and pundit are okay, I suppose. All-round nice guy is a weird thing to name your daughter. Okay, JK, JK, of course. It's just funny punctuation that makes it read funny. The kids are not actually named this. It's just really a funny coincidence, isn't it? She knows you think her name is different, but Dr. Marijuana Pepsi's work speaks for itself. Marijuana Pepsi knows what you probably think of her before you read another... How is this legal? I'm pretty sure, like, in a lot of countries in the world, it's illegal to name your kids stuff that will make their life difficult. It's kind of a thing in many places. Why? How on earth can you name your child Marijuana Pepsi? Oh my god, they're gonna get, like, default demonetized if they ever made, like, a YouTube channel with their name on it. Can you imagine that? That is nuts. Can you imagine that your first name is, like, censored automatically on certain platforms? That is nuts. Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, if you're in the market for baby names, I do hope this video gave you some inspiration on what not to do. I suppose, isn't that absolutely beautiful? If you just exclude everything that's bad, then the only thing you're left with are the golden nuggets. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here, you wonderful, beautiful being, and I will see you again in the very near future. Take care.
What makes
terms of Ben's development over the years as a content creator. Now, while I've been giving this admittedly brief summary of Ben's online career, you might have noticed that I've skipped over the supposed myriad controversies that I claimed he's been subjected to over the years. And that's because, well, honestly, I don't even know where to start. Ben's online behavior is so contentious in this current age that, as we've already seen, just posting a clip from one of his old videos is enough to get thousands upon thousands of disgusted reactions on Twitter. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Not only has Ben actually had videos so controversial he's seen fit to remove them from the face of the internet, he's also exhibited behavior on various other sites that only serve to solidify his degeneracy in the eyes of many. But perhaps we should start at the beginning, the quintessential Ben the Looney video. The iconic, the notorious, Ben's top 10 hottest animated women. To many, this was the first time Ben expressed opinions that were truly deplorable. And, well, instead of talking at length about it, why don't I just show you a few of Ben's top 10. Jenny Robot from My Neighbor Was a Teenage Robot. Okay, she's based on a 16-year-old girl, but she's technically not a child since she's a robot, not human. Stacy from Phineas and Ferb. Well, she's human and she's 15 as well, so, Misty from Pokemon. Okay, she's 10 years old. I can't... Well, what do you guys want me to say?
I heard you's a pedophile, nigga. I heard you like little boys and girls, nigga.
No, it's worth stating that this video was posted extremely early into Ben's online career, and if we take his word for it, he would have been in high school around this time. Regardless, this didn't exactly help to quell the backlash against him for essentially thirsting over a character based on a 10-year-old girl. And as you might remember from the clips I played in the intro of this video, this behavior obviously persisted into the later years of Ben's career, with him ranting about Enid from OKKO's sexy mime outfit as recently as 2019. Now, all of this would maybe warrant Ben getting a few callouts on Twitter and a couple people unsubscribing from him. But if this was where his controversial behavior ended, we certainly wouldn't be talking about him here today. However, Ben has never been satisfied with simply admiring underage characters from afar. To the contrary, once he began to improve his skills at art school and his confidence in his work began to balloon, Ben became a genuine menace, as he began to create and upload his own artistic works depicting some of his favorite cartoon characters. And as you might have imagined, some of these characters were, in fact, underaged. Although there are many deplorable artworks in Ben's horrific catalog, I don't think it's necessary to go through his entire career as an NSFW artist. Rather, I'll just give you a specific example that many people point to as being particularly disgusting. You see, at one point, Ben decided it would be a good idea to depict a character from the Cartoon Network show We Bare Bears in a very compromising situation. And just for context, the girl's canon age is 10 years old, and she has obviously never been depicted in a situation that is anywhere near NSFW, so that's all Ben. I could go on and describe to you all any number of artworks that ruffled people's feathers over the years, but I feel this one is enough for you all to understand where I'm going with this. People were not happy with what Ben was drawing. As you might have expected, Ben has come up with various excuses over the years for why he believes this type of art is okay. First of all, he emphasizes that even if the change is not visually obvious in his art, whenever he draws a character in a sexual context, they have been quote-unquote aged up to be at least 18 years old, so he's not really depicting a child. He is also a die-hard proponent of the "it's just a drawing and it's not hurting anyone" argument that many a lolicon enthusiast has espoused in the past. He's even gone so far as to claim people are stupid for caring so much about his cartoon porn, while there are real issues
What makes you
like floods in Louisiana. I mean, he's got a point, but as Mommy Jormai always told me when I was a wee lad, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And I don't think too many people would disagree that drawing little girl characters naked is a wrong, at least on some level. Now, obviously, I have more to say about Ben's behavior and the reactions to it from other people online, but from this point onwards, I will be organizing the rest of the video by separating it into 3 distinct controversies, each one sparked by the visceral reactions prompted by some of Ben's more questionable online activities. So, having explained the broad strokes of Ben's career, as well as laying the groundwork to help you all understand how he drew so much backlash upon himself, it's time to start discussing the concrete dramas he experienced with other creators, and the first one is for something you might not have expected. As you might imagine after my description of his online activities, Ben has been accused of basically everything in the book. People have called him a creep, a lolicon, a pedophile, an anti-SJW, a normal SJW, and everything in between. But ironically enough, one of the first times Ben began an actual drama with another creator was when he was accused of being something completely different, racist, which I have to admit I did not see coming. Now, if you're familiar with the series of tweets that inspired me to make this video, you may think this is related to the quote tweet that was made claiming that Ben used to make rant videos about hating black people. The claim was accompanied by 3 of the fakest screenshots I've ever seen, supposedly taken of past videos by Ben, titled Black People, which showed Ben glaring at 2 unsuspecting people of color, Black People 2, which showed Ben's avatar preparing to beat an unsuspecting man over the head with a baseball bat, and A Change of Heart, which supposedly depicts some serious character development on Ben's part, as he can now be seen hugging 2 people of color with a smile on his face. These images were accompanied by the claim, "These are real, I swear to Christ," which apparently led many people in the replies to actually believe that Ben had produced these videos. Nice one, Smaggle. Now, I don't think I really need to explain why these are so obviously fake, but just for the record, these images are the result of people editing frames from one of Ben's most popular storytime animation videos, Crappy Roommates, to make it look like he was racist. But if that's so easily debunked, why did I dedicate a section of the video to them? Well, my dear teleporter, the true racism allegations made against Ben were actually levied in 2017, following Ben uploading a now disowned video titled "Are Classic Cartoons Racist?" In this video, Ben makes a variety of contentious statements regarding old cartoons that had been coming under fire at the time for containing stereotypical depictions of people of color that many have deemed harmful. Let me play you some clips of Ben's defenses of these cartoons, and we'll see if you're able to pick up on why this video didn't exactly go over well.
The only way I see these cartoons as being offensive is if you are a privileged and sheltered child who had no idea racism existed. While despite the censor's attempts to keep these cartoons hidden, some of them are in the public domain and ended up on cheap VHS tapes that you'd find in stores back in the day. I happened to have some of these tapes growing up, so I was more than familiar with these cartoons. Guess what? I didn't think anything of them.
Yeah, as you might expect, implying that only privileged and sheltered people would find these depictions offensive, as well as the "I watched it and I'm not racist" very well. Soon enough, Ben found himself in some hot water, as he was declared a racist by fellow content creators. The most significant of these creators who saw fit to call Ben out was a fellow YouTuber who has a long history of accusing people of racism, Soul Brother Number 3, also known as SBN3 or Max, which is how I'll be referring to him from now on. Max was known in the past for posting various different types of videos to YouTube, ranging from skits to animation dubs, and even informational videos about
What makes you shake it up while you're getting down?
He's mostly known as the creator of the wildly successful game Class of '09, a dark comedy visual novel that has attained overwhelmingly positive reviews across the internet and gone absolutely viral on social media for various clips like these.
All I deserve is a deep plunge. You did this, Nicole!
What was that 90s TV show? Did I do that?
Max had not taken kindly to Ben's opinions on the matter of classic cartoons, and decided to thus make a YouTube video about Ben, accusing him of being a quote-unquote racist pedophile. Now, while this video is unfortunately lost to time, we can still look back on various tweets made by Max and his associates about Ben from this period. These tweets include some absolute gems, such as when Ben feebly resisted the accusations of racism by mentioning that his favorite hip-hop artist is Busta Rhymes, who is not white, so I definitely see his point. These accusations mark the first time that a controversy surrounding Ben's name actually managed to spread decently far compared to his channel size. This is partially due to the fact that he was being bigger than his. After all, the SBN3 channel now sits at more than 80,000 subscribers, making it far larger than Ben's. Furthermore, the callout was for something as heinous as supposedly being a racist and a pedophile, which are things that the internet does not take kindly to. However, at the end of the day, it isn't going anywhere. One reason many people point to as a justification for why Max's callout didn't have the desired effect was that, although Max clearly opposed Ben's stance on NSFW of underage characters, and made it a point to call him a creep over it, there was much speculation circling at the time that one of Max's regular collaborators, a user named OMGTSN, was actually a creep himself. However, the accusations against OMGTSN were actually far more severe than anything that had been levied towards Ben, with multiple calls being made accusing him of having an inappropriate relationship with someone who was only 13 years old. Now, I'm not here to speculate on the veracity of these claims. I feel I'm not equipped to do so in this video, especially given that a lot of these posts have been lost to time. However, what I can say is that being so closely associated with someone who was being accused of these things really hurt Max's case against Ben, at least in the eyes of some internet users. Beyond that, people were starting to realize that Max was just a person who called people racist very easily, especially given his tendency to claim things like that anime is racist for being too westernized and depicting their characters as, in his opinion, too white. When asked if the solution to this problem would be for animators to start drawing animated characters to look more stereotypically Asian in order to satisfy him, a white man, Max decided to just delete the entire conversation. To detract from his criticisms even more, part of Max's callouts were inherently flawed, such as when he accused Ben of referring to people of color as quote-unquote the blacks in order to make him look insensitive, even though this straight up just didn't happen. As a result, Ben actually kind of cooked him in their Twitter exchange, which can't feel good. Suffice it to say, at the end of the day, Ben managed to escape this first controversy nearly unscathed. His reputation was tarnished a bit, to be sure, and some people made videos calling him out, but because a villain who people believed to be more cynical than him had been present, Ben came out appearing just a bit more sympathetic. He also disowned his video and took back his takes, as well as just moved on with his life, hopefully never to be embroiled in drama ever again. Just kidding. From here on out, the controversies only begin to skyrocket in scale, starting the literal very same year. If you've been up to date on YouTube comments at any point within the last few years, you'll likely have heard of Shadman. Even if you don't know his full story, there's a pretty good chance you'll recognize his name, simply because of the sheer infamy that he managed to achieve through his online activities within a short period of time. Now, I'm not going to give an explanation of everything that made Shadman so hated. There are plenty of videos that touch on that, including multiple by the Birdman himself. However, as it is important context for the situation at hand, I will relay to you all the lowlights of Shadman's career, just to emphasize the extent to which his degeneracy was allowed to fester. From the very beginning of his online career as an artist, Shadman's work was extremely provocative, and this was done on purpose. He reveled in the negative attention he received for posting explicit lolicon art, and he clearly desired to leverage this negative attention in order to catapult himself into the mainstream, as a sort of misunderstood provocateur. And for a time, this actually worked, with Shadman's name becoming so well known that he even received recognition from figures like everyone's #1 e-girl, Belle Delphine. And while many have obviously since denounced him for his disgusting behavior, it's worth noting just how influential he once was. But if so many people were supposedly completely fine with Shadman creating art of characters clearly intended to be children, what caused it all to come tumbling down? Well, the first cracks started to show in 2016, near the end of the presidential election. Shadman made an agreement with a random internet user that, if Donald Trump was elected president, Shad would draw Keemstar's daughter performing inappropriate activities with Trump. Keep in mind, Keemstar's daughter at this point was 7 years old. Now, Shad never ended up going through with this, instead creating a safe-for-work drawing of the girl, but him drawing anything based on someone that young is disturbing in and of itself. In the coming months, Shad would escalate the situation by creating more and more explicit art based on various real-life children. His drawing Lieutenant Corbitch depicted the then-famous 11-year-old YouTuber Lieutenant Corbis doing things with a microphone. Furthermore, he created art of Emma Watson as she was when she was only 10, and Millie Bobby Brown as she was when she was only 11. But the straw that broke the camel's back was when Shad created art of the 12-year-old actress Daphne Keane, who played an important role in the movie Logan, being brutally assaulted. Furthermore, evidence was leaked proving that Shadman had based the art directly on the actress, even going so far as to call her a quote-unquote lolly in his Discord server. I'll spare you all the disgusting details of this art, but suffice it to say, at this point, even Shad's most diehard supporters were having a difficult time justifying his actions. But some of the most valiant and honorable Shadman glazers were totally undeterred by this. Enter our man, Ben the Looney. In mid-2017, Ben made what is quite possibly the most severe error of his entire online career. He posted a video praising Shadman and platforming his art, titled Shadman, Artist Spotlight. Now keep in mind, most of the things I just discussed occurred in 2016 and 2017. As such, the fact that Ben's video was posted when it was shows that he truly didn't think these actions merited condemnation of Shadman because they had already happened. But let's hear the guy out then.
Oh boy. Might as well get the controversial one out of the way here.
Yeah, no shit, Ben.
He's a very well-spoken and laid-back guy who not only defends himself well,
What makes you move? What?
He said some things that make so much sense that I can't even do what he says justice. I'm just gonna show you.
Yeah, we're not gonna listen to that. Overall, Ben plays clips from Shadman's YouTube videos in which he defends his heinous artworks by calling them experimentation, and then basically just goons over Shad's art for a while. Finally, he moves on to rationalizing each of his controversies. For example, he says there's nothing bad about Shadman drawing Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter, and that the haters need to, quote-unquote, calm their tits. Here's what he had to say about the drawing of Lieutenant Corbus.
When you get down to it, it's just a girl sucking on a microphone. That just happens to look like a phallic symbol.
He then clarifies that, while he himself does not enjoy lolicon, he will tolerate other artists for drawing it. Given that he had just tripped over himself to misconstrue the intention of what is clearly suggestive art based on a real child, I'd say that second part is obvious. He also felt the need to take to the comments section in order to defend the art against people who were understandably upset. One commenter pointed out the fact that Ben had actually cropped out the more explicit parts of the drawing, and that he was downplaying the fact that the art was based on a real-life child. Ben then hops into the conversation himself to compare the art to something as innocuous as someone sucking on a hot dog, claiming that you'd have to be really sensitive to care about it. When someone brings up the presence of seminal foods in the art, which obviously indicates suggestive themes, Ben says, "There's a mug in the drawing. I see it to be whipped cream." Right. One thing in particular people noted about this video is that Ben completely skipped over the Daphne Keene controversy, which many saw as Shadman's greatest folly, and which had given direct evidence that he was basing his drawings on real-life children, and he was willing to depict abhorrent things happening to them. This single video, which obviously has since been deleted, has had significant and long-lasting effects on Ben's online reputation. In nearly every situation in which he has been brought up in the future, at least for the next few years, there was a high chance that people also brought up Shadman. To his own severe detriment, Ben had managed to forever link his name with Shad's, an undesirable connection to be sure. This drama was a bit different from the Soul Brother number 3 one because, unfortunately for Ben, there was someone to come out of the woodworks and inadvertently paint him in a better light. However, at the end of the day, it was clear to many that Ben was not the biggest villain in this scenario. Of course, platforming Shadman and presenting his degenerate artwork in a misleading way is worthy of condemnation, and it was certainly bad enough to put Ben's spot as one of the internet's villains of the week. However, most people who cared eventually forgot this ever happened, especially as Shadman faded into irrelevance. And so, for at least a few years, there was relative peace in the world of our pervy purveyor. But what would come next was undoubtedly the biggest drama to ever touch his channel. Thus far in his online career, despite clearly being part of the artistically oriented side of YouTube, Ben had somehow managed to largely steer clear from the so-called art commentary community. This branch of YouTube generally centers around artists showing footage of them drawing while they commentate on various things, usually relating to the perceived misdeeds of their fellow creators, which is why it's sort of surprising that Ben, who has many misdeeds to speak of, managed to go for so long without being called out in one of these videos. One creator who used to be synonymous with the scene as a whole is Creepshow Art, the now notorious dark horse of the art commentary community who has since fallen from grace. And, as I mentioned earlier in this video, it was Ben's degenerate drawings that actually knocked over the first domino in a long and very convoluted line that eventually led to the unearthing of her disturbing behavior, which had been festering in the annals of the internet for years prior. And the key to understanding the link between little old Ben and this large-scale drama, which has been documented an obscene amount of times in the past 2 years, is another creator who used to be active in the art commentary space, Toby Majestic. Toby Majestic, also known as Just Toby on her YouTube channel, was, as of June of 2020, a rising star in the art commentary community. She had just started to gain a massive amount of traction, largely due to her video, The Faults of Creepshow Art. This was notably one of the first videos to be outwardly critical of creepshow art, who at the time was generally in the good graces of the community, and was obviously an imposing presence boasting more than 500,000 subscribers. In this video, Toby managed to assess Creepshow's problematic behaviors at the time in a way that many saw as level-headed and fair. And this, alongside the fact that most people agreed that Creepshow's recent actions were worthy of criticism, caused people to rally behind Toby, despite her channel being very small. Because of this wave of positive attention, the video was able to accrue an astounding 600,000 views, a number that is obviously made much more impressive by Toby's comparatively low sub count at the time it was uploaded. This positive attention also granted Toby somewhat of a positive reputation within the community, and people began to listen closely to her opinions as a commentary channel. She was even given credit by Creepshow herself, who made a video response to the situation, although many looking back see this as merely an attempt to make her look like she could take criticism well. Creepshow dedicated a large section of her video to complimenting Toby as a creator, and voicing her respect for Toby's bravery in taking her on as such a small channel. Suffice it to say, at this point in time, Toby Majestic found herself in the good graces of the internet. But despite her coming out of the gate swinging, cracks in her level-headed facade actually began to show before much time had passed at all. At some point in mid-2020, Toby uploaded a pretty unhinged video about commentary and YouTube drama in general. In this video, she aligned herself with creators who had been receiving the short end of the commentary stick at the time, like Shane Dawson, Gabby Hanna, and PewDiePie, which didn't particularly go over well for her. Toby was also known for getting into Twitter slap fights with random people over various things, many of which were completely and utterly pointless. This directly went against one of her most salient criticisms of Creepshow art, which was that it was immature and pointless for Creepshow to start arguments online with anyone who happened to disagree with her on something. This showed that Toby, despite her ability to notice flaws in other content creators, was blind to the fact that she herself shared these same shortcomings. But back to the topic at hand. Don't worry, Ben, I haven't forgotten you. One of the things that Toby decided to passionately argue with people about on Twitter was our very own controversial little fella, Ben the Looney. On July 26, 2020, Toby published a tweet directly accusing Ben of being a straight-up pedophile because of some of his artworks that we've already discussed previously. She would later double down on this claim in several videos, such as her video from September of the same year, titled, "It's Still Wrong If It's Drawn." Now, obviously, this was a severe claim, and had it come from a stable and credible figure in the community, this situation could have ended very badly for Ben. As it was, he did face a large amount of criticism due to the visibility that Toby drew to his channel. But ultimately, Ben ended up coming out of the situation relatively unscathed, and all he had to do was, well, nothing. See, Ben took a bit of a step back from making videos and art during this period, only posting 4 videos over the course of the next few months. And while he took this time away to let the heat die down, Toby, and the art commentary community as a whole, began to literally implode in real time. First of all, many people went to bat on Ben's behalf, accusing Toby of being a hypocrite for the things she had done in the past that seemed to contradict her current statements. For example, Toby was calling Ben a creep for drawing NSFW art of underage characters. However, she herself was responsible for creating NSFW content of both Todoroki from Boku no Hero Academia and Usagi Tsukino from Sailor Moon, both of whom were, at the very oldest, 16 years old. Furthermore, the depiction of Todoroki in particular was something a great deal of people took issue with, as Toby had drawn him obviously having been brutally abused. She even went so far as to caption it, and I quote, hit him harder. In order to defend herself, Toby claimed these artworks were not meant to be sexually charged, despite the fact that some of the hashtags added to the Todoroki artwork were #hard and #BDSM. Furthermore, even if this wasn't intended to be sexual, many still saw it as a really gross thing to draw. Toby also claimed first that she didn't know the age of the characters, and then that she had aged the characters up in the drawings so that they were adults. However, these two claims obviously contradict each other. If you didn't know the character was a minor, how could you possibly know to draw them in a unique way to make them an adult? This is some grade A girl math. No offense to the girl in my audience. Now, obviously, none of these criticisms make it so that Toby isn't allowed for opinions on Ben's art. But many people claim that if Ben is a pedophile for his drawings of underage characters, then Toby would, by her own standards, also be a pedophile. Regardless, Toby would continue her crusade against Ben through various methods that would get her into even more hot water over the coming months. First, she slid into the DMs of one of her former friends who had apparently sided with Ben and harassed them, threatening to feature them in any future videos she made calling Ben out with the express purpose of ruining their reputation. This led the former friend to post the DMs on Twitter, but unfortunately for Toby, she had sent the DMs from a separate account dedicated to her quote-unquote sex work, which she wanted to keep private. But when the messages were leaked, people were able to link the account to her. Because of this, Toby tried to spin the situation and made it seem like her ex-friend had gone out of their way to expose this information to the public, despite the fact that she had clearly instigated the conflict by threatening them in their DMs. Ultimately, Toby's erratic behavior culminated in a truly bizarre moment in a video she uploaded in August of 2020. The video was meant to be a tribute to her dog, Buddy, who had unfortunately passed away. However, near the end of the video, for some incomprehensible reason, Toby decided to once again bring up the drama she had involved herself in.
Ben Lou's file on Twitter, who draws underage characters. Some of them he ages up, like physically. But a lot he doesn't.
Now, I understand that Toby was in a rough place when she uploaded this video, and that, as she has mentioned many times, her struggles with BPD can affect her decision making. But her decision to include statements like this in a very clearly unrelated video only seemed to reinforce what people were already beginning to think about Toby, that she was starting to act very similar to the one she'd made it big off of calling out in the first place, creepshow art. Prompted by this near immediate rise and fall, commentators within the community started to take note of Toby's behavior, and many began to post videos calling her out. Some of the most notable creators who did this were Kai Weiss and Omnia, two creators who would later become infamous in their own right. Overall, things turned into a giant mess, with shockwaves felt across the entire art commentary space. The amount of petty videos, DM leaks, backstabs, and L+ ratios that took place over the next few months was insane, and there's no way I'm going to cover it all. If you do want a resource on that, I highly recommend Cecil McFly's video on the topic. It's very comprehensive. Suffice it to say, Toby was not very favored during this period, and due to the vast amount of mostly valid criticism flowing her way, she actually lost more than 10,000 subscribers, which was a massive chunk of her audience. The internet dogpile targeting Toby got so intense that creators were being called out not only for just associating with her, but even for not outright condemning her. One creator in particular who was called out for this was Hopeless Peaches. Specifically, an absolutely horrendous commentary YouTuber named Prisonmate Luke decided to make 3 videos on Toby Majestic drama, and in the third one, he inexplicably dragged Peaches into the situation, claiming she was friends with Toby, despite her expressly stating otherwise. Luke then pivoted to criticizing Peaches for supposedly suicide baiting her audience by making tweets implying she was in a rough place mentally and then not tweeting for a few days. That's it. Those were the criticisms. Despite how completely and utterly pointless this sounds to me, this would actually lead to a landslide of videos calling out Hopeless Peaches. Despite this, eventually people started to realize that Prisonmate Luke sucks, and almost everyone
What makes you shake it up while you're getting down to
had no evidence backing it up. It was discovered that he was literally showing messages on screen that had absolutely nothing to do with what he was saying out loud, but his entire audience was just not paying attention, so they assumed that he was backing up his claims. It was insane. But now that it was unveiled that prison mate Luke was basically fabricating every point he made against Hopeless Peaches, another question was raised. If none of these claims were valid, why did a massive creator like Creepshow Art keep aligning herself with Luke? Did she have something against Hopeless Peaches? Well, soon enough this would be confirmed when Creepshow posted her video about Hopeless Peaches, and it was certainly one of the videos of all time. Ultimately, Creepshow also provided no evidence for her claims. She also made questionable accusations, such as that Hopeless Peaches is racist for disagreeing with people of color. Because of how far she was reaching in order to condemn Peaches, people started to read into her actions a bit more, and what they discovered would eventually lead to immense revelations, a fall from grace, and millions upon millions of views on videos covering the situation. I won't go into everything discovered about Creepshow because it's a lot. Essentially, she was a horrible, manipulative liar and even a stalker, and this is all covered in depth by people that are not me. Now, I know that was a lot, so let's have a rapid-fire recap of our little timeline here. 1. Ben draws gross no-no art. 2. Toby Majestic calls out Ben for his gross
Take it up while you're getting down to groove.
Toby Majestic, and she also made gross no-no art, and is also just basically a big hypocrite and kind of a weirdo. 4. Anybody associated with Toby Majestic, even if they've expressly stated they are not, is called out, including Hopeless Peaches. 5. Prison mate Luke and Creepshow Art really fixate on Hopeless Peaches. 6. People start to look into Creepshow Art, wondering why she fixates so much on Hopeless Peaches. And 7. People discover some other things about Creepshow Art, and everything comes falling down. I know I've been talking about this guy for way too long, but we should get to his response to this whole situation. In response to the original Toby Majestic drama, Ben had actually made a pretty well-received video. In it, he describes all the ways he plans on rectifying the criticisms levied against him. First, he created a separate Twitter to post his NSFW art, so there's no chance anyone's eyeballs would be directly assaulted by NSFW if they clicked on his main account from his YouTube channel. Next, he took back everything he said about Shadman and deleted his video about him. Finally, he claimed he would do a better job of aging up the subjects of his drawings to make it clear he's not trying to create art of minors. Honestly, I can't tell if my brain has been completely rotted because of all the horrible takes I was forced to sit through while researching the Toby drama, but I actually really like this response from Ben. I don't think it's redeemed him for the gross things he's said, done, and drawn over the years, but it's certainly a good starting place. Ultimately, this controversy served as yet another example of Ben's unbelievable tenacity as a creator. In the face of immense backlash, time and time again, he has persisted in producing content, and more often than not, his opposition finds some way to take itself out. Because of this, Ben's actually managed to outlast most of the major players in these dramas, at least on YouTube. Max rarely uploads to his channel anymore, choosing to focus more on other projects like Class of '09. Shadman's career has long since been dead and gone, and he was allegedly arrested on assault charges in LA 2 years ago. And Toby, as well as literally almost the entire art commentary space, completely fell apart over the course of just a few months. And although Ben himself isn't the most active on YouTube anymore, it's still insane that he's more active than any of these other people. Regardless, that caps off what is essentially the last major controversy that Ben has been a part of. Unless you shake it up while you're getting down. Twitter Thread as a major controversy, which I do not. So let's finally get into my conclusion. Overall, I wanted to talk about Ben because of the crazy amount of times he's been called out, unscathed each time, and because, without even knowing it, he's been involved in some of the largest dramas to ever touch this website. I want to be clear that I do not in any way condone Ben's statements on Lolly or basically anything for that matter. He's not a guy I find myself agreeing with much, to be honest. But as always, I wanted to end this video on a bit of a more positive note, because I can only be a hater for so long. And so I want to point out the fact that Ben is not an inherently unsympathetic figure. As I mentioned near the beginning of this video, Ben claims that he was raised almost entirely inside, watching cartoons and movies. This paints him in a very similar light to someone the Jormai 49ers will be familiar with, Yandere Dev. However, unlike Alex, Ben was never ousted for having inappropriate interactions with minors. Rather, he just makes degenerate art and degenerate statements, but he's always stuck generally to the realm of the imaginary, which, it's still disgusting, but baby steps, I guess. Furthermore, another thing which differentiates him from our infamous game developer is that Ben started uploading videos when he was in high school. With the immense amount of backlash he faced even within the first few years of his channel's existence, which would only increase in later years, it's not hard to see how Ben could have been adversely affected by his interactions on the internet, especially given his relatively young age compared to his contemporaries. Again, I'm not trying to defend Ben's ridiculous statements, horrendous art decisions, or goon-oriented